welcome along and welcome back to Ohio and American Life Farming. We are heading up to the shop right now because we've got ground that is almost frozen and we want to get the slurry into it before that happens. So we're going to get a slurry tanker with an injector on the back. So we're heading down here with the 7R. Now this 7R has 319 horsepower, I believe, which means we're not going to be able to get the biggest slurry tanker. Let's head into the shop. So we, on our tractor at the moment, have 319 horsepower, sorry. So what we can do, going and looking in here at the slurry tankers, we can't get this Samson. It is 350 horsepower for that one, but the PG225 we can get. That is 250 horsepower requirement, so we easily make that plus the 115. So yeah, we 300 and we can't really get that, actually, to be honest. It's gonna be the PG220 plus this, because that is 315 horsepower between those two things. So yeah, this is the one we're gonna have to get. It's only 93,000, which is great. So let's have a look at this. This holds 20,000 liters and should do what we want it to. We'll set up Trelleborg or Michelin as usual. I'm gonna go for the Trelleborg because it's got the wider tires on it. We got standard or narrow. Yeah, so we're gonna go with the these tires on it, and it's 4,743 to lease this with 930 per day. So that is what we're going to be doing in an attempt to save ourselves a bit of money. Now that goes on the Zune hammer, so we want this. And we want to lease this as well. So yeah, we're going to lease that for 2,000. So this is going to be about 1,500 a day in leasing costs with this. I'm not going to keep it over the winter for obvious reasons that we can't actually use this during the winter months, and we will save ourselves more money over winter by not leasing it than we would by keeping it on. So let's just bring this up. There we go, and hook it on here. But this should allow us to use the slurry we've got sitting at our farm to get our fields prepared, because none of our fields on the farm are in any fit condition to be planted, really. They are in a pretty terrible condition, to be honest. Right, there we go, and we want to lift the back. And this is still a fairly large slurry tank on here, even though it's not the largest. We don't have a massive tractor on this farm at the moment. We've only got this 7R, and yeah, we need to make sure we've got the appropriate equipment for it, really, with this. Now, this is the first time I've used a piece of equipment like this to inject slurry straight into the ground. It's not massively wide, I don't think. We want to bring this around here, like so, and then reverse it up. Whoa. I think it's got rear. Does its rear wheel steer? No. It went around a little bit fast then, so we'll slow this down and carefully back our way up, and we can turn off our beacons now as well. I don't know if I'm close enough to fill this, and I want to make sure I've got the right bit. So let's give this a try. Yeah, slurry 327,000 litres. 328,000 litres, actually, because that was a 9 after that 7 with the rounding. So, yeah, we've got a lot of slurry here. We can do about 15, 16 trips with this, which is, yeah, that's quite a lot. We should then have plenty to do these fields, despite the size of them. And we have actually, looking at this, been out here with our cultivator already. On this field. Which I thought we hadn't on here, but never mind. Let's start this up. No, start up. And drop it down. And away we go like that. And perfect. Right, I am going to use this as well to set my course for the GPS. So set first waypoint. And set second waypoint. Auto width. And away we go. And look at that. Yeah, this is doing a very nice job of getting this done. And yeah, this is freshly cut ground. So yeah, this should go fairly smoothly by the looks of things. And hopefully this slurry, we won't have to do too many refills. So the way I've done the first part of this field is with a striped setup, with giving myself enough to do the headland at the end here. And then we're going to go through now and refill this, or fill this, so that the rest of the field we have a nice, easy route of doing. The amount of slurry we're using is holding up really well. We're only about halfway through the tank so far. Which is really, really good. I'm going to get this into position with my GPS. And it's, yeah, it's holding up really, really well. It's rather difficult to see the back of the cultivator most of the time is the only thing. It is completely obscured by the tank. But otherwise, this is working brilliantly. This piece of equipment has worked brilliantly on here so far. When just getting this little area at the side of the field where the shape was a little bit weird for us cleared up, but it's worked wonderfully. We have on this first bit used pretty much all the slurry we had. I'm going to turn it off and fold it up so that we can go and refill it. We've covered a good section of the field, and we're looking at doing really well with this. We've got a huge field in field 13 to do and break up the plough furrows that we have on there with this. But that should do great. And this is basically killing two birds with one stone with what we're doing here. Let's refill this again with some more slurry. And in the meantime, let's see how our progress is. And yeah, I was a little worried that the angle I'd come down here was wrong for the angle on that side of the field. But it looks like we got a fairly rectangular amount of field left here. Field 27 is going to be horrible. Even we do need to do these fields as well, even though these have already been cultivated. But we're going to be doing some work over the winter. I think we're going to see if we can cut into here and maybe expand field 12 a bit. Get a bit of this woodland gone. And give ourselves a bigger grass field. And we might try and fill in this gap here as well, so that we have a very nice large grass area with those three fields. So yeah, they hopefully is going to give us a good amount of grass, because we know we're going to get through a lot of hay with the cows. So it makes sense for us to invest in doing that. Plus, we could probably make some money from those trees. But first, we need to get ourselves lined up, unfold this, and get back to doing our alternate rows. Turn this on, drop it down, and away we go. And this should mean we end up finishing back at this point here. I was hoping that the slurry we had in here was going to make it to the edge of the field, but it looks like it's going to be maybe 2/3 of the way across, which means that we're going to have at least 2 more tanks. I mean, we're down to 5% now. I don't know if this is going to make it all the way to the end of this field, but it would be good if it did. But I'm not holding out hope as we, yeah, down to the last 1%. I think we're going to have to pick this up again once it refuels, or once we refill. There we go. So lift it up and get it to go like that. I'm still getting a lot of frame drops on this map. I don't know what's causing it. It's a little bit weird. But we can get this refilled. But I think we're going to be another 2 to 3 loads to get this field done. It kind of depends on how far the next full tank gets us on here. If it gets us to the edge of the field and a good way back as well, it's only going to require a couple. Otherwise, yeah, it's going to require 3 to get this field done. We're getting near to the edge of the field, and we've only got 30% of this tank of slurry left. So, I'm very much thinking that we're not going to be able to get halfway back across the field with what we've got. So, yeah, this is going to take 2 more loads of slurry to do on top of the load that I picked up a little while ago. Still going very, very well. I'm still pretty happy with this. On the plus side, I've also realized that field 13 this year does not require any nitrogen. We're putting the soybeans in it next year. The soybeans don't require any fertilization or any extra nitrogen or anything. They will go fairly well. I am just going to run this down the edge of this field and not use the GPS here. But yeah, we're down to 18%. I think we're going to run out at the far end here. Or at the very least run out on our way back. And it's been successful. You know, we have the slurry to do this. We've got one other field that needs doing in field 27 that we'll do with this. And then we may do the grass stuff and things like that with injectors later on, I think. Might be a good way of doing things. It kind of depends on how we are with the weather. So if we put that on to cruise control for a minute and bump up the speed. There we go. We can have a look here and see what the weather's going to be for the next few days. We're looking at having cold going into winter with snow in a little bit. So I'm not expecting this field to, or expecting us to be able to continue doing field work through the winter. The soybeans are actually, the corn is a fairly early planting. So having field 38 here ready, and done, will be good. We've run out of slurry. Yeah, there we go. It will keep going if you don't realise it, and it'll just keep cultivating and not injecting. So we're going to go and fill this up again. But yeah, we are in a position where we get this field done and ready first. We don't hold on to this over the winter. We'll get we'll hire another one come the springtime to get the soybean field done, where we're going to be putting the sunflowers this year. Let's just have a look at this. So we want to plant, can't plant anything now. we're looking to plant sunflowers. Yeah, day 3. And we're looking to plant soybeans day 5, and we're looking to plant corn on day 5. So actually it's the sunflowers that need to get their ground sorted first. But to be perfectly honest, the sunflowers only need half the nitrogen of other crops anyway. So it looks like we're going to be fairly well off with this being the field we absolutely need to get this into. I think it's wise to use this to do the nitrogen in the field we're going to be doing the sunflowers on, because it's going to be a field that it'll be a way to save us a whole load of money in the long run. So let's back this up and get it refilled, and then we can do our penultimate run. As I expected, we're looking at making this in 2 more loads. We are 30. We're down to 37% on this one. We get about 9-10% per run off this on this field, depending on which part of the field we're running. I mean, we're using more at the moment because we're getting we're putting more in. We're doing 80 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare on this bit because we're doing it on the yield potential for loam, whereas when we get into the silty clay, you can see the application drops to 60 kilograms per hectare. So it's this part of the field we're using less of our slurry, and now that we've done all the loamy bit of this field, just about, we're expecting to use less. It's getting pretty dark and we're on the last couple of rows, but I think we're gonna run out of slurry before we get this last row done. We're gonna need probably about 20% in this slurry tank, and what I want to try and avoid is filling this up too much. If we're gonna return this, then we kind of need to avoid overfilling it with slurry, because otherwise I'm either gonna have to hold on to it to keep the slurry, or I'm gonna have to go and sell it. I think we're a little bit over. I've had some problems with the GPS on these last few rows as well, so hopefully we're gonna be all right. Let's lift this up. Yeah, we're down to 2%. I don't think we've got enough to get us going the whole way right down here. So I'm gonna put about 15-20% in, I think. Hopefully that's gonna be enough. There we are. So let's fold this up. Lots of light on this tractor because it's got really dark. It's only 8:05 in the evening, but being winter here, it's just kind of got really dark, especially with. Can we? Yeah, that does nothing. I have no. If I didn't have the map, I would have no idea where I was right now, and probably just going to go straight into the slurry pit, which is at the end here. Don't want to be too fast. There we go. So we'll get the last few percent in here. I think that we should be all right if we get maybe about 15%. I'd rather have too little than too much, and give myself a good idea of how much more I need. So refill, yes. A little bit more. That'll do. 17% should be enough. And let's run this row from this end here so that it gets it finished. But again, we've got to find our point at which we were at. Whoa. Following the road round. Yeah, this darkness. All encompassing. Right, field is dead ahead. Where is my row? There's my row. Unfold this, turn it on. Set us up. And away we go. Hopefully, to finish this off. Like so. Oh yeah, this is... Without the GPS on this last row, it's a bit of a pain. But at least we've got this done. Whether this is going to be enough to finish this field, I don't know. I'm really hoping it is. Because we're already down to 10%. We're only putting 60 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare on here. But these are fairly long rows. I thought this actually only took about 10%. And on these parts of the field, I would expect that. But it's going down quicker than I expected. Much, much quicker than I expected. Look at that. We are almost already out. Oh, it's going to be close, though. This is going to be very, very close. 20% would probably have done that. So we'll go put 5% more in, and then we can finish this field off. There we go. Last 5%. Just need to bring this over here. Start it up. We've got a bare patch from here-ish, I think. Yeah. Oh. Why is that not doing it? Turn it on. Drop it down. There we go. And into the ground. And that is the field done. So turn it all off, lift it up, and fold it. Perfect. Right. There we go. That is the slurry done. And yeah, fairly dark night. But that is our tractor. All there and dusted. Ready for whatever the next day holds. If we have a nice day where the ground isn't frozen, we will get the slurry into the other field. If we don't, then we'll be looking for another job to do. For now, though, I'm going to leave this here. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.